If you've been trying to obtain a death certificate copy in Nevada but faced roadblocks, this explainer will guide you step by step through the entire process so you can finally get it done with ease. Losing a loved one is incredibly hard, right? And the absolute last thing you need right now is a confusing maze of paperwork. So let's break it down together.
Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we are taking the stress entirely out of these administrative hurdles. We're going to give you a clear, manageable path forward, from legal requirements to exact fees, so you can tackle this task with total confidence.
Here is our roadmap for today. We'll be covering why you need it, who can apply, required documents, the step-by-step process, costs and timelines, and finally, some really crucial pro tips.
Okay, let's dive into Section 1, why you need it and how it helps settle final affairs.
Well, without a certified copy, your hands are completely tied. I mean, you literally cannot legally close bank accounts, claim insurance, or handle probate. Think of it as the master key to the entire estate settlement process. Life insurance companies, they demand it before they'll release a single penny. You can't even transfer a vehicle title without one. It is your ultimate proof of legal standing.
Moving on to Section 2, who can actually apply?
So you can't just walk in and ask for anyone's record. Nevada operates under a very strict direct and tangible interest rule. Basically, vital records are highly confidential to prevent things like identity theft and fraudulent financial claims. You have to legally prove your relationship to the deceased to get past the state's gatekeepers.
In everyday terms, this primarily means immediate family, spouses, parents, children, siblings, and grandparents. But appointed legal guardians can also apply as long as they have a certified court order. Same goes for attorneys with an active case number. Interestingly enough, the funeral director can actually secure these copies for the family, but only within a very strict 180-day window.
That brings us to Section 3, required info and documents.
Now, if you don't have a standard primary ID on you, like a valid driver's license or a passport, don't panic. The state is actually surprisingly flexible here. You can combine documents. For instance, you can use two secondary IDs, maybe an expired license and a signed Social Security card. Or you can mix one secondary ID with two supporting documents, like a recent utility bill or a pay stub. As long as one of those documents has your name, signature, and a photo, you're totally covered.
But you also must provide exact biographical data for a successful database search. They need the decedent's full legal name and Social Security number to verify identity and filter out similar names. They also need the exact date and county of death to direct the query to the correct regional registry. You even have to provide lineage information, the father's name and the mother's maiden name, to cross-reference familial details. And please keep this in mind, missing even one of these specific fields can cause an immediate administrative rejection.
All right, Section 4, the step-by-step process.
For online orders, you've basically got two main routes. First, there's the statewide rapid vital check system, which is fantastic because it uses secure LexisNexis identity verification. This often completely removes the need to physically upload your ID documents. On the other hand, if the death occurred down in Clark County, you can use the localized Southern Nevada Health District portal. The interesting quirk about the SNHD portal is that they don't actually charge you up front. They review your application first, and if you qualify, they'll email you a payment request. Just be aware SNHD does not offer expedited shipping. Everything goes out via standard first-class mail.
Now, if you apply by mail, follow these steps to the letter, but beware of a massive pitfall here. Personal checks are absolutely never accepted. No exceptions. Imagine waiting weeks during an already stressful time only to have your application returned simply because you wrote a personal check. So you'll complete the application, photocopy your IDs, purchase a money order or a business check, and mail the whole shebang directly to the Division of Vital Records in Carson City or the SNHD if you're in Clark County.
Next up, Section 5, costs and processing times. Let's talk numbers.
Fees vary wildly depending on the jurisdiction. State central counties are $25 per copy. But if the death occurred in Clark County, the SNHD charges $38 for the very first copy. That's due to a state registration fee, and then $25 for every copy after that. Oh, and remember that $10 record search fee? That's entirely non-refundable even if they can't find the record. Processing-wise, expect about 4 to 6 weeks for the state, or roughly 2 to 4 weeks if you go through the SNHD portal.
Section 6, pro tips and pitfalls.
We really need to take a second to talk about consumer protection. Stay highly vigilant against third-party scams. The Nevada Attorney General has specifically warned about unverified websites, claiming they'll help you apply for these certificates. Guys, they will charge you massive premiums for something you can easily and securely do yourself using authorized channels like VitalCheck or direct state offices. Don't fall for it.
Also, double-check your spelling. Actually, triple-check it. If you make a typo on the application and the certificate gets printed with an error, it is an absolute nightmare to fix. You'll have to submit a formal notarized amendment request and pay an extra $45 just to correct it. Not to mention, if your application is just missing basic info, your wait time basically doubles while they pause your file to reach out.
Here is a massive pro tip for you. Order 3 to 4 certified copies right out of the gate. Settling in a state crawls to an absolute halt if you only have one copy being mailed back and forth between banks, insurance companies, and probate courts. Getting those extra copies is a small, upfront investment that will literally save you months of waiting down the line.
And finally, Section 7, Conclusion and Legal Disclaimer. Just a quick legal note, please remember that government fees and procedures can and do change. The information provided here is accurate as a publication, but always verify current procedures and fees directly with the Nevada Department of Health and Human Services before submitting your application. Hopefully, this explainer has made a really difficult task much easier to navigate for you. Having this knowledge ahead of time is incredibly empowering. Please share this with anyone you know who might be facing this process right now, and ask yourself, what steps will you take today to secure and organize your family's vital records for the future? Thanks for joining me, and I'll catch you on the next explainer.